Welcome back to my channel Quest for Knowledge. Today we are going to discuss important 2 marks of business studies. First question, which is very important question, is what is management? Define management. So according to Harold Kuhns, management is a process of designing, maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups efficiently accomplishing selected aims. So it's a process of designing, maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups efficiently accomplish selected aims. State any 2 organizational objective of management. So it is survival, second is the profit and growth. So these all are the objective of management. So first of all, how you will write management means you need to write, because management is something we design, okay, like how we want to manage, and then we maintain that environment. Why? Because management is especially for the individuals who are working in group, and why they are working in group? Because to accomplish some aim. So that is the management definition you need to give. Define coordination. Again, a very important question. Coordination is the process where by an executive develops an orderly pattern of group efforts among his subordinate and secure unity of action in the pursuit of common purpose. So it is a process. Again, coordination is a process where executors develop a kind of a pattern of group effort among their subordinate and try to maintain a unity of action into that for the ambition to seek a common purpose. So this definition is given by McFarland. Justify the importance of coordination by 2 factors. So coordination integrates group effort into purposeful work and activity. Integrates means it brings one thing to with the another. It adds the group effort into a purposeful work activity. Coordination ensures the unity of action. So that is it for the 2 mark of the first chapter. Give the meaning of mental revolution as propounded by Taylor. Mental revolution involves a change in the attitude of worker and management towards one another, from competition to cooperation, from competing to each other to working with harmony with each other. So that is the mental revolution which is being propounded by Taylor. What is discipline according to Fayol? Discipline is obedience, to follow, to be bound by the organizational rules and employment agreement which are necessary for the working of the organization. So whatever the organization makes the rule, even the employees should need to agree to it. If they don't agree, then that is, they don't, it will start to create more conflicting scenarios. State any 2 differences between unity of command and unity of direction. It is little confusing. We need to understand unity of command is one boss. We need every individual employee should follow one boss. So that is unity of command. And if they have 2 bosses, it will lead to confusion. So it is related to the people and their relationship in the organization, that who is my superior, who is my subordinate. So it is about the people and their relation. That is unity of command. Unity of direction, it advocates all the unit of organization to be working toward the same objective. None of the function, none of the other, every unit should have their own different objectives. So that is unity. Every management should be for the unity of, they should be working towards the same objective of the organization. After that, this unity of direction is not related to the people. It is related to the work. It is related to the work towards the accomplishment of the objective of the organization. Yet again, a very another important question, which is, what is scalar chain? Scalar chain, it's a line of authority from highest to lowest rank, which is known as scalar line. Scalar chain. So it is nothing but the formal lines of authority from highest to lowest rank. What is gang plan? It is also a very important question. Gang plan is a shorter route in a scalar chain which allows employees at the same level to communicate with each other directly. Gang plan is used in the case of emergency. So gang plan is a informal sometime, okay, why? Because it allows to communicate with the other same kind of a position worker. Now, what is the meaning of globalization? Globalization is the integration of the local economy with the global economy, okay, or else you may write it in this manner: it is the various economies of the world leading towards the emergence of the cohesive global economy. So you may write as the representing the local economy within the global economy is the globalization. What is the privatization? It is the removing the restriction from the government and giving the ownership to the, even the ownership is being transferred from the public sector to the private sector is called as privatization. What are the two features of planning? Planning focus on achieving objective. Planning is a primary function of management. Okay. Meaning of planning premises. Planning premises are the assumption about the future condition and event. Trend, population, legal regulations. So these all are the example which we need to go through. Okay, plans should be formulated by the management within the framework of the planning premises. So planning premises is nothing but the assumption about the future condition and event and trying to work for that. Okay, so that is the planning premises. What do you mean by objective? Objective are the end point towards which are the organization are directed. Objectives are set by the top management. So it is the end of the activity to which every organizations are being working for and every organization is directed to work for. Okay, what is strategy? Strategy are the specific program action for achieving the objective of the organization. It is a comprehensive plan which acts as a guideline to handle specific problem. So strategies are the specific programs of action for achieving the objective of the organization. So it is a kind of a plan itself, okay, but it acts as a guideline to handle specific problem. So a strategy is how to establish the demand for the existing product, okay, when the competitor has introduced a similar new product into the market. So these all are the strategy which is quite similar with to the plan. What is a policy? Policies are general statement that guide thinking toward a particular direction. What is procedure? Procedure is a routine step on how to carry out our activities. What are the give the meanings of program? Programs are detailed statement about a project which outline the objective, policy, procedure, rule, task, human and physical resources required and budget to implement any course of action. So program will include the entire gamut of activity as well as the organizational policy and how it will contribute to our overall business plan will also matter into this. So meaning of program, it is nothing but the outline of the objective, and policy, procedure, rule, task, everything, all the entire gamut of activities come under this. Okay, so that is what you need to write about the program. What is define organizing? According to Henry Fayol, to organize a business is to provide it with everything useful to functioning, like raw material, machine tools, capital, personnel. So it is to provide with everything useful for the functioning. So that is considered as organizing. What are the meaning of organizing? It is the process of defining and grouping of activities of the enterprise. Establishing authority and responsibility relationship is considered as organizing. So organizing is the process of defining and grouping the activity of the enterprise, along with that creating a authority and responsibility relationship. So what are the difference between functional and divisional structure? Functional is the grouping of job of similar nature and organizing them as per the functions are being taken as the separate department. So that is why functional structure it is called. All departments are report to the coordinating head, which is more useful for large core organization. Divisional structure is a grouping of activities on the basis of product Under this structure, the top level delegates extensive authority to the division heads. The division heads are in charge of manufacturing, purchase, sale, engineering and other department of the division. He is also made responsible for the profit or loss of the division. So, divisional structure is advantageous for organization involved in production of different line of products. So that is why it will be very beneficial for the different type product lines, divisional structure, various function lines, functional structure. Give the meaning of the formal organization. It refers to the organization structure which is designed by the management to accomplish particular task. It specifies clearly the boundaries of authority and responsibility, as it is the systematic coordination among the various activity to achieve organizational goal. Okay, it is a kind of a design. It is designed by the management for the accomplishment of a particular task. After this, compare the contrast authority and accountability. So, authority is nothing but the power to command employees and instruct them to perform the job. Accountability is being answerable for the final result. Authority is being delegated, but accountability cannot be delegated. So, what are the differences between delegation and decentralization? Delegation is the compulsory act because no individual can perform all tasks on his own. So, he will delegate some of the work to his subordinate. And it is a narrow scope and it is limited to superior and his immediate subordinate. So, that is delegation, which is a complete related to a superior and his subordinate. But decentralization is wide. Decentralization is wide because it's a optional policy decision. It is done on the discretion of the top level management, and it implies extension of delegation to the lowest level of management. Even the supervisory level also being joined for the decision making. Why is staffing both a line as well as staff activity? Staffing is both a function of management as well as a distinct functional area of management. It is therefore referred to as both line as well as staff activity. So, staffing is both a function of management as well as a distinct functional area of management. It is therefore referred to as both line as well as staff activity. It is essential function of a manager as well as an advisory role played by human resource department. Why is staffing both line as well as staff activities? Because it is distinct functional area of management as well. It is a function of management as well as distinct functional area of management. So, it is both line as well as staff activity. Why? Because advisory role is being played by the human resource department. After this, write any 2 factors which influence the way of recruitment, selection, training of employees in any organization. So, first is the rapid advancement of technology. That is why we need new skills, and new skills to which we will hire new employees. Increasing size of the organization. The more the business expands and grow, the more the people we need to work in the organization. That is the reason we are which influence for the recruitment, selections and all. What is recruitment? It is the process of finding a suitable applicant for the job. What is the meaning of selection? Selection is choosing the best candidate from the large pool of candidates and applicants. Placement, it's a process of assigning job to the selected candidate. Orientation is introducing the new employee in the organization to the existing employees and making him to be comfortable and familiarizing him with the rules and policies of the organization. Give the meaning of transfer. So, transfer means a lateral movement of employee in the same grade but from one job to another without any change in his status, responsibility and salary. State 2 type of direct financial payment which an organization can adopt to pay its employees. One is the wage and salary, second is the incentive. What are the difference between training and development? So it's a process of increasing knowledge and skill, which is training. It enables the employee to do the job better because of the training, and training is completely a job oriented process. As per the job the training is given. But development is quite different. It is the process of learning and growth, and it is enables the overall growth of the employee, and it is career oriented, not the job oriented one. Now, what is job rotation? Job rotation is an example for the on the job training method. It involves shifting the training from one department to another so that it enables the trainee to get the broader knowledge of all part of the business and how the organization as a whole functions. So that is job rotation, and to avoid the boredom doing the same kind of routine job. Two merits of external sources of recruitment: fresh talent made available. Second, wider choice. Demerits is that morale of the existing employees goes down, and it's a lengthy process of recruiting, selecting, giving the placement, orientation. Mention any two merits of internal sources: it is economical and it motivates the existing employee. Do demerits of the internal sources is that no fresh ideas will come to the organization and there will be limited of the choice. What do you understand by supervision? Supervision is an element of directing. It means overseeing what is being done by subordinate and giving instruction to them. It is an important function. So that is supervision. It is overseeing what is being done by the subordinate. What is motivation? Motivation is a process of stimulating people to action to accomplish desired goals. This is being said by Scout. It is a process of encouraging people to action to accomplish desired goals. Two features of motivation: it is an internal feeling and it produces good behavior. Leadership, according to Coons and Ordinal, leadership is the ability of a manager to induce subordinate to work with more confidence and goal. Two features of leadership: leadership indicates the ability of an individual to influence other. Leadership tries to bring change in the behavior of others. Communication is an exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, emotions and information by two or more people or person. State any two elements of communication: sender, message, encoding, decoding, channel. What are the psychological barriers? One is the perception, second is the filtering. State any two personal barrier to communication: fear of challenge to authority. If superior perceives that a particular communication may adversely affect his authority, he or she may withhold such communication. And lack of confidence of superior on his subordinate. If superiors do not have confidence on the competency of their subordinate, they may not seek their advice or opinion. So define managerial control. Controlling is, according to Coons and Ordinal, measuring and correcting of activities subordinate to ensure that events conform to plans. Coons and Ordinal. It is being said by Coons and Ordinal. Controlling is according to measuring and correcting of activities of subordinates, so that to ensure that an event conforms to plan. State any two traditional technique of managerial control: personal observation, break-even analysis. State any two modern technique of managerial control: return on investment and ratio analysis. What is the meaning of break-even analysis? It is a technique. It is a technique used by manager to study the relationship between cost, volume and profit. It determines the probable profit and loss at different level of activity. Like, it is a technique which is being used by manager to know the relationship between the cost, volume and the profit. So we can understand probable profit and loss in various situations. What do you understand by budgetary control? Budgetary control is a technique of managerial control in which all operations are planned in advance in the form of budget and actual result are compared with budgetary standard. So it is a managerial control where all operations are planned in advance, so in the form of budget, and they compare the actual result with the budgeted standard. What is responsibility accounting? It is a system of accounting in which different section, division, department of an organization are set up as responsibility center. The head of the center is responsible for achieving the target set for his center. So this is considered as responsibility center. So what do you understand by financial management? It is concerned with raising financial resources for the effective utilization toward achieving the organizational goal. What is investment decision? With an example, it is relate how the firm fund should invest in different assets. Investment decision can be long term and even can be short term. A long term investment decision is also called capital budgeting decision. Example, making investment in a new machine. Short term investment decision is called as working capital decision about the level of cash in hands and all. What is financing decision? The decision about the quantum of finance to be raised from various long term sources is known as financing decision. The long term sources of capital like debt, equity, preference share capital and retained earning, so this all comes under the financing decision. Okay, and what is mean by dividend decision? It is related to how much of the profit is being earned by the company and how much is to be distributed to the shareholder in the form of the dividend and how much profit should be retained in the business. State the twin objective of financial planning. It is the availability of fund whenever required, and it is the firm does not raise resources unnecessarily. So this is the objective of financial planning. What is financial leverage? Write the formula. So the proportion of debt in overall capital is the financial leverage, and the formula is D divided by E, which is debt divided by equity. How much of credit is there when compared to the ownership? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of trading on equity? Trading on equity refers to the increase in profit earned by the equity shareholder due to the presence of fixed financial charges like interest. So, trading on equity refers to the increase in profit earned by equity shareholders due to the presence of fixed financial charges like interest. Write the formula to calculate debt service coverage ratio. Debt service coverage ratio is equals to profit after tax plus depreciation plus interest plus non-cash expenses divided by preference dividend plus interest plus repayment obligation. So this is the formula to calculate debt service coverage ratio. So the question is, American Management Association defined marketing as the process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion and distribution of ideas, goods and services to create exchanges that satisfy individual and organizational goal. So marketing is the process of planning and executing the conception, what are the prices to be fixed and how to promote the product and how to distribute the idea, goods and services to create exchanges that satisfy individual as well as organizational goal is considered as marketing. Define marketing management. Kotler, he says that marketing management is defined as art as well as science of choosing target market. Okay, it's target market and getting, keeping and growing customer with creating, delivering and communicating superior customer values of management. So marketing management is art as well as science of choosing target market and keep on growing customers through creating, delivering and communicating the customer value of management. Two features of marketing: needs and wants, customer value, exchange and creating market offering. Two example of the thing that can be marketed other than product: service can be marketed, transport service can be marketed, a person can be marketed, example political leader and all. What is standardization? It is the producing goods of predetermined specification which helps in achieving uniformity and consistency in the output. What is grading of product? It is a process of classification of product into different goods on the basis of some of its important characters such as quality, size, shape, flavor, color and all. What do you describe marketing mix? It is described as the set. It is described as the set of marketing tool that a firm uses to pursue its marketing objective. So marketing mix, according to Neil, it is the combination of four inputs, which is product, price, promotion and place. What do you mean by consumer good? Products which are purchased by ultimate consumer for satisfying their personal need and desire are considered as personal product, consumer product, like soap, textile. Example of convenience good. Convenience product are those products which are purchased frequently, immediately and with least time and effort, as referred to as convenience good. Example, toothpaste. Durable products like television, fridge and all. How do you describe shopping product? Shopping product are those consumer product and in the purchase of which buyer devote considerable time to compare the quality, price, which like example when we buy jewelry. Two function of packaging. Packaging helps to identify the product and packaging helps to create a brand, and a product promotion is possible with the help of a proper packaging. Two objective of pricing: to create a market share leadership. It's because of the price we need to set up such a good price, okay, so that great number of people can attract, and we can able to survive in the competitive market when we have a very good pricing strategy. After that, what are the two distinguishing features of advertising? First, we have paid form of advertising, okay. Second, there is no direct face-to-face contact between the prospect and the advertiser. Therefore, they will have an impersonal method of promotion. Third is identified sponsor. The advertising is undertaken by some identified individual or company who make advertising effort and also bear the cost of it. What is personal selling? Personal selling involves oral presentation of message in the form of conversation from one to the prospective customer for the purpose of making the sale. What is consumer protection? Consumer protection referred to providing adequate protection to consumer against the unfair trade practices is considered as consumer protection. State any two reasons for the importance. It's to consumer ignorance, unorganized consumer. State any two reasons to emphasize the importance is the long-term interest of business and business uses society's resources. What are the two consumer right? Right to safety, right to be informed, right to be heard, right against exploitation of the goods. Who can file a complaint? A consumer, and any registered consumer association can file a complaint. So, who is an entrepreneur? The person who set up his business is called an entrepreneur. Who introduced? It's Richard Cantillon who introduced the term entrepreneur. What is NAC, NPO, and NF, and this is we have done. What is entrepreneurship? It is the process of setting one's own business is considered as entrepreneurship. Two characteristics of entrepreneurship: it is systematic activity and innovation. Expand cash, okay, it's knowledge, attitude, skill, habit. Ideas analogy: it's international environment, domestic economy and state of the sector or economy. What is the difference between entrepreneurship and management? The focus is on startup, which is entrepreneur. The focus is on the operation of the business, which is done by the management. Entrepreneurship is an informal approach, while management is a formal approach. State any two functions of entrepreneur in relation to economic development. So, it helps for the contribution in GDP and it helps in capital formation. What is the SVO analysis for the entrepreneurial opportunities? So, entrepreneur is the person, entrepreneurship is the process, and enterprise is the outcome. What are the four competencies of entrepreneurship as identified by EDI? So, it is initiative, it is a choice more than a compulsion, and he sees and acts on opportunity. He sees the problems and based on to that he creates an opportunity for himself to conduct a business. Persistence: they never give up so easily and they are lifelong learners. They keep on knowing and knowing who knows, and they will consult experts and reading relevant materials and they start to open with their ideas and knowledge. What and all we learned till now was just all the question and answers as per the subject. These are all the very important questions which have come from the various previous papers and the model papers. Along with that, I have attached the model paper of this year and the preparatory paper of this year. So this is your assignment. You have to write this as test after going through with the explanation of my previous chapter wise. I have given all the 2 marks questions explanation. Now it is your thing. You need to write the answers for this and to uh, and to and to get practice yourself with all of these important questions. Okay, so this is yours. If you found this video helpful, do like, share and subscribe, and comment your suggestions below in the comment box, and do share it with your friends, and do support to my channel by subscribing and hitting the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching.